India, a country so big and vast it could be a continent. A country of over 1.4 billion residents, and the country where we have just spent the last 6.5 weeks exploring. We are going to tell you everything we learned and everything there is to know about traveling India.
I'm going to start this video where we started, which was New Delhi. We flew from Abu Dhabi and we arrived at the airport very early in the morning. I think it was 6 a.m. The first thing you guys need to do is get a SIM card. Keep in mind there is a SIM card place there. Only costs about £2.50, so it really isn't bad at all, and you could top it up on your phone. However, it doesn't activate until after 12 hours, so you cannot use it straight away, which is really, really annoying. So we had to ask someone to book a Uber, and there is an Uber pickup. You just have to ask someone where it is. Do not take the tuk-tuk driver's advice because obviously they're trying to scam you. It's so expensive. Book an Uber, go to your Uber drop-off point and get out that airport as quick as possible.
The very important thing to know is having an Indian phone number is gold. It is so, so important because there are nearly every Wi-Fi network you need an Indian phone number to be able to access. Even printing off receipts and stuff like that, you will come unstuck. So even when you land into Delhi airport, you will need an Indian phone number for it to be able to work. So I think potentially my advice would be to get an eSIM just for a few days before you arrive. But once that SIM works that you get given at the airport, it is absolutely incredible and works throughout our entire state in India.
The second thing we want to talk about is money. So when we went to the airport, trying to get money out of an ATM was pretty much impossible. None of the ATMs had money and it was really, really frustrating. So as soon as you get to Delhi or wherever you're landing, I think one of the first things you need to do is get money. One of the ATMs we liked was Punjab Bank, I'm pretty sure, and that charged us about £1.50 per transaction. Always keep in mind transaction fees. We've got scammed about £10 for some transactions. So yeah, keep that in mind and try to take out as much cash as possible in each ATM to avoid constant transaction fees.
Also, as we've said many times, get a Starlin or Monzo bank card, especially when traveling India. We've met tons of people who have had one as well and have had no problems with it whatsoever. And then it avoids that extra fee that then you will get from your bank for a foreign transaction fee. When we arrived in India and during our stay, the rate was roughly 104 rupees to the pound, which was really easy to work out because, to be honest, we just did 100 to a pound and it didn't really fluctuate during our time there, so you can be confident that you're not really going to lose any money during your stay. Leading on from that point, cash is still king in India, especially for foreign tourists. So they do have a Paytm and Google Pay network, but we never was able to get it to work. And I think the Paytm thing is only for Indian cardholders anyway.
It's also more hassle than what it's worth.
Yes, so we ended up doing our transaction the majority of the time before they did. So just bring cash, kind of avoid just bringing your card anyway. There are like select places, especially we found in more the south of India, that do take card, more of the tourist areas, but definitely we found in Delhi, Agra, Jaipur, it just wasn't really that common, especially the places we were going to take international debit cards.
So sticking with the topic of money, we're going to do one last thing about money, and that's going to be how much we spent in our time in India. We spent, like Olivia said, 6.5 weeks there. So I think you guys want to know how much we spent on things such as accommodation, which was...
We spent £857.13 for 41 nights of accommodation. I'm referencing my phone, which works out roughly £20.90 a day. We used primarily booking.com. However, we did use Airbnb like 3 times. However, we have some quite serious advice with this. Do not go for the most budget option you can. You can travel India and stay in places for maybe £9 a night for the pair of you, but you are going to suffer. You have to pay for that kind of cleanliness and stuff like that, which we definitely didn't do on a couple of occasions. And it's just better for you in the long run to just pay that little bit more. But also read the reviews, read them in detail. Sometimes when you just quickly look and it's maybe
Read
8.
the more recent reviews as well, because those are obviously going to be the ones 2 years ago it could be great and now it could be absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
And again, I think Olivia was going to touch on this. Don't book anything on booking.com unless it's over or an 8.
Yeah.
Because we've done that a couple of times where we've gone under and it's been the worst experience of our lives. So please do that. And keep in mind, Airbnb, not a lot of people use it in India. We used it a couple of times, but we've noticed a lot of places in Airbnb in India, when you leave a negative comment, they don't actually post it. So it looks like it's a really good place to stay. There's a bunch of positive reviews, but that's because the negative views aren't being posted for some reason. I'm not quite sure if that's just Airbnb. I'm not quite, or India's fault. God knows. But yeah, we stayed away from Airbnb.
But on to food. So we spent roughly £777 exactly on food for 43 days, which worked out £18 a day for the both of us. That is including everything. That's anything snacks, which is the biggest expense from this guy over here, and just all restaurant, street food, pretty much anything food-based, that is included.
And what we love about India is that you can go, so people say, we never got sick in India when it came to food, ever. And I do want to say this, foreigners that come to India and say, you're going to get Delhi belly, you're going to get sick, avoid this, avoid that.
What are you eating?
What are you eating? A lot of the times, these people that I see on YouTube are eating at street food places. Well, I'm not being bad or anything, but where the poorest of the poor will eat.
Which is very sad that they also have to eat
Yeah, it's very sad they have
kind
to eat there,
of food.
but you don't have to. They're eating there because that's all that they can afford. Why are you eating at these places? You can see with your eyes it's filthy in the way they're doing it, and then they'll come online and complain that they're sick and you don't eat here, don't eat street food. No, use your common sense. We ate a lot of street food and never got sick. Look it up online, look at reviews, and see how cleanly. Look at the cleanliness. That's all it is. So yeah. Use your common sense sometimes.
And also in the north of India, we went almost primarily vegetarian. We just didn't. And on that subject, the vegetarian food is incredible.
Amazing.
Like, honestly, absolutely amazing. And we are meat eaters. Connor eats just mainly meat
Never
at home.
ate vegetables. And
oh, wow. It is honestly, these people, they can cook. That is one thing to say. They can cook.
Activities and transport, do you want to say how much we spent?
Yes, so with activities, we spent £198.12, working out roughly £4.60 a day. And yeah, that is for pretty much everything we did.
And transport?
Transport, £657.10, working out £15.28. However, that was including our flight to India, so without that it would be £11.55 per day.
So now let's talk about transportation and how we got around India.
Transportation in India, a love-hate relationship that we have with it, but I highly recommend train travel in India. I think that is the safest.
The best way.
And the best way to travel around. However, we very much came unstuck with this and it ended up costing us more money in the long run. Book your trains in advance. Book them months
By
in advance.
advance, we mean months, yeah. So
Yes.
I think they start coming on sale after 3 months.
Yeah.
So as soon as you've booked your trip to India and you get on the government railway website, no other website.
Government railway.
Don't go to government tourist places.
Yeah.
And I don't care what tuk-tuk drivers say. It's not the right place. They will end up scamming you. Do not do it. Okay? Be very firm. Sorry, we're going off topic, but be very firm. I'm not going here. Take me to my destination. Anyway, only online. Online is the safest place to go. And you could always dispute it with your bank company because you have it online.
Yeah.
Always online. You get a ticket as well. No need to print it off. Always online.
And obviously the Vande Bharat Express is the best train to get, but always go with like CC or second class. I wouldn't go any below that, just for safety purposes.
Especially, I know it sounds bad again, if you're a female. If you're a female, you do, and there's no females on there, they're all males. I know it might seem fun going with all the locals all squished up for about 2 hours, but that novelty will wear off after 10 minutes. So yeah, do not do that.
Yeah, but as on the subject, trains, absolutely recommend. I would personally, I mean, you know our experience now, do not go with buses. For your own safety, do not go with buses.
Sorry for the comment section down below. I know a bunch of people in India will say, our buses are great.
No.
They are great.
They are great.
The actual bus is great. It's the guy driving it. The people driving in India, there's no regulation. So the guy that was driving us when we was in our bus crash, he's been working for 16 hours straight. These people think it's an F1 track, and it's not. It's so unsafe, and when you're trying to sleep as well, it's awful. You will get no sleep. So I'm sorry if that offends anybody, because a lot of you are great drivers. But for the 10% of you, awful.
But also, I recommend domestic flights.
Yeah.
Every airline we flew with were incredible.
What was that flight? Our first flight?
Vistara, we love you.
Vistara is the best airline I've ever been on. It's quick. It was so affordable. They give you free meals, constant water. Amazing. So Indian Airlines.
Very, very good. Very safe. However, you have got to think of it like looking after the environment. It is not very environmentally friendly to fly all the time. So I would definitely recommend going for trains if you can.
Yeah.
But obviously there is the local transportation as well, like just getting around the city. And for that, we recommend definitely downloading Uber, but obviously tuk-tuks as well.
Or download Uber, and if you can't be asked to use it as a price guide.
Yes.
Because if we've gone, okay, right, this is 5 kilometers away. Okay, it's going to cost me 150 rupees. The rickshaw might say 200. That's fine because it's more convenient. But don't be paying 300, 400, 500 because you have that as a guide.
That's the best thing, the price guide for it. But tuk-tuk drivers, we again have a love-hate relationship with. Definitely in Bangalore, they did take the mick a little bit with trying to just scam you out of your money. But for the most part, they are a really awesome way to get around. Can actually be quicker than cars because they can go in their little crazy places.
Do you know what? I will give the biggest tip for you guys when coming to India. Don't tell anybody anything. The more you tell people things, the more they have to work with. And don't lie, because then you have to go with the lie. I'll say, no, we're going to go get dinner. Where are you going? Why are you going there? Or we need to do this. Why are you doing that? Just, if you don't want a conversation with someone, say hello. No, we're doing something, we're busy. Just be very firm. With tuk-tuk drivers, people pass, and some people are going to be very nice and they're going to want a conversation with you. But a lot of the time, these people want you to get in their shop, spend some time with them, to give you money. Tuk-tuk drivers, just keep yourself to yourself. That's it.
Yeah. Now on to our route around India. Now a little disclaimer, our route towards the start, perfect, beautiful, but then we became very much unstuck after Goa because the spanner definitely went in the works with the weather and stuff like that. And then the bus crash just really threw us off mentally. And again, we really struggled with the trains. So after I say Goa, it definitely goes a little crazy. But we started in Delhi. We were in Delhi for 4 nights. Too long in Delhi.
2 nights max.
2 nights max, 3 if you are coming in and you just want to sleep. But definitely, as Connor said, kind of 2-3 nights max. We then took the train to Agra, obviously for the Taj Mahal. Again, we stayed 2 nights. Don't stay any more than that.
1 night max. And even if you want to do this, don't even stay there. You can literally go there, see the Taj, see the baby Taj, get some thali and go somewhere else.
Yeah, because it's, personally for us, the Golden Triangle was kind of the worst area.
The worst experience, yeah.
In India, because it's not authentic, it's not real, it's touristy, tourist traps, it's not a genuine kind of experience, it doesn't feel like that. But in Agra, we did the Taj, the baby Taj, and I recommend maybe Agra Fort if you have more time. But apart from that, leave.
Yep.
So then we went to Jaipur. We did 3 nights in Jaipur, and to be honest, I think that was plenty of time.
Yeah, 2 nights max.
Two, 3.
Because at that point, you're probably tired from traveling quite a lot. You get some sleep. So yeah, 2-3 nights.
Yeah, because as travellers, like when we arrive, we don't really want to do anything for that first day. So we definitely want to have that day as a separate night, which is why we potentially stay a bit longer. So then from Jaipur, we headed to Pushkar, which is probably one of the most amazing places.
Which is now outside the Golden Triangle, obviously.
Yes. So you had to go to, if you're getting the train, you had to go to Ajmer Junction and then take a tuk-tuk up to Pushkar, have fun negotiating with the tuk-tuk drivers there.
Now that we've left India, I'm like to you guys, have some fun because it's crazy.
Oh, the just negotiation of it in Ajmer to Pushkar is an absolute nightmare. Honestly, I would say spend as long as you want in Pushkar. It's a very relaxing place. It's definitely somewhere you need after the Golden Triangle.
You can meditate there, take some classes, do whatever you want.
And we did 3 nights there, and to be honest, we could have done more. We absolutely loved it. We then headed down to Jodhpur again. Really enjoy Jodhpur. It's a really cool place. Lots to see, lots to do. Really like the markets. We did 3 nights there.
Again, could have done 4, 5, 6.
Again, could have done more. Then we headed down to Udaipur. We did our first bus in India. Had a very good experience with that, even though there was a bit of Formula 1 racing going on. Udaipur, we love. It is just incredible. The food is some of the best in India.
Yeah.
That thali place we went to.
Oh, so good.
Oh, it was amazing.
So good.
We did 3 nights there as well. Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. So we then flew to Mumbai, and I think we did 5 there.
We did 5 nights, but personally, I generally recommend more. Like, do whatever you want in Mumbai. It's such a great place just to relax. And it's nice, it's a real eye-opener. You can see the richest of the rich and sadly the poorest of the poor. So you get a nice kind of feel into both sides of India. You can do multiple tours there. The food, generally, my personal opinion, Mumbai, the best in India. Absolutely phenomenal. So the food is great. The people are really nice over there. And the actual main centre of it is very, very clean as well. So recommend Mumbai.
And I think if you had to choose between Mumbai and Delhi, I am of the belief that if you must go to Delhi once in your lifetime.
Yeah, you have to.
But Mumbai definitely takes the win for probably the first place you should visit in India.
And after Mumbai, we went to Goa.
We went to Goa.
Yeah.
Goa, we had certainly an experience. So we arrived probably right towards the end of the monsoon. Now, they had a very dry monsoon, and it just so happened the 2 days before we arrived, heavens opened, chucked it down non-stop for 4 days.
So that's why you're not going to see any videos in Goa.
You're not going to see anything from Goa. Do apologise, but we went to Candlin for 4 days, and we kind of, the max we saw was the supermarket.
Yep.
And then we went to Panjim.
Great.
Now, Panjim was awesome. We did 2 nights and we extended to 3. That we didn't record on the basis that it was just a family thing. We just spent the whole day with family. We just explored the city, and we really, really like it there. It's a really, really cool place.
Learned about my family's history and the history of Goa itself. Obviously, it was part of the Portuguese and them coming down and everything that they did. So I definitely recommend going there and learning a bit about the history as well.
Yes, we cannot give you too much advice for Goa. This is something we've put a pin in, and we are 110% coming back.
Yeah.
We can't give the best viewpoint on that, unfortunately, just because it was very bad. Now, this is where our crazy route starts coming into play, because we wanted out of Goa. We were supposed to just stay in the state, but we decided to just leave. So we decided we were going to head to Bangalore, which is why we then took that overnight bus, which we then had a disaster with. So we then spent 4 nights in Bangalore. Could have done more. Bangalore is an awesome city full of young people, tech startups, tons of businesses, so much to do. One of the best cities in India.
Spent my birthday there, went clubbing with the Indians.
Yeah.
You guys know how to party. It's fantastic. Long Island iced teas, Bollywood music. Yeah, the Indians do it great.
So again, that's why we didn't record, because at that point we were recovering from our disaster bus journey, and then it was Connor's birthday. Bangalore, you could spend so much time in Karnataka. It was incredible. We wanted to then head to Mysore, but for some reason we were just having serious issues with booking the train at that point. So then we flew to Kerala. Kerala is incredible.
Yeah.
It is so good.
One of my favorite places in
Yeah,
India. We
it's
went on a
awesome.
boat ride. The food there's quite nice as well. The fish, the people are fantastic, and yeah, you do get a lot of tourists there now. What month are we in? November?
October.
October. So a lot of tourists are coming now in October. So pick your timings and things. Things might get a little expensive, but yeah, loved it.
A really, really cool place. Obviously, we only saw Kochi, so when we come back, we definitely want to spend more time in Kerala. Fortunately, we then needed to fly.
Yeah. So we're going to move on just things you should know, things you should bring before coming to India. We'll talk about things like mosquito spray. That is definitely a must. And on the topic of mosquitoes, when it comes to malaria, we didn't bring any malaria tablets. We didn't take any because the feeling that you feel when you're on it, you have to take it every day, isn't very pleasant. Obviously, it's nowhere near the feeling you'd get as if you actually get malaria, but it's still quite bad.
Yeah.
So we didn't actually do that, and thank God we didn't get malaria or anything.
It was a calculated risk that we made based on like talking with our doctor and also like the risk of the places we were going. And instead we chose to just absolutely cover ourselves in mosquito spray.
So we didn't do that. For women, Olivia, woman, she had to bring tampons with her. So bring a bunch of tampons with you because in India they're very, very hard to find.
Yeah.
That's obviously if you use tampons.
You will only find them, well, in my personal experience, you will only find them in Goa and Kerala. Apart from that, we actually didn't find them anywhere. So if that is something you need, definitely stock up beforehand. And I think that's the same for all of Southeast Asia, actually.
Yep. Also, when it comes to things like deodorant, and they're everywhere, but we found that it was quite weak deodorant. So bring your own deodorant if you can. Bring some face wipes, hand sanitizer, everything. Again, love India. I'm sorry if this is going to offend anyone, but a lot of the time in India, it's very hard to feel clean, especially with some of the places.
And the dust and stuff.
The dust,
nice.
the food's amazing, but the smell of the food is always on you as well. So maybe bring your own laundry detergent as well. Try to find places to wash it. If not, it's very cheap to wash it in places. So bring a lot of the basics that you wouldn't bring other places, because a lot of the time it's actually quite hard to find in India.
Definitely the thing that you're going to have to get used to, especially if you're in Delhi, Mumbai, etc. People wanting to take photos with you. Now I have social anxiety quite bad, so when people are constantly coming up to you, and sometimes they're not even asking, it's kind of just
they will say, stand here, here's my baby.
So yeah, I was handed a baby like to hold, and that was so uncomfortable for me because the baby was crying, it was a whole thing. But it's kind of up to you whether you want to take photos with these people. I found it quite difficult to say no, but just be aware that it is very, very likely to happen, especially if you are white. They're going to want to take photos with you. It's not a mean thing, it's not an unkind thing. They're doing it because they just want to take photos with you. So yeah, it's up to you. Either be firm or take them, and just, again, be firm when you've had enough.
So before we end the video, because it has been going on for quite some time now, we're actually just going to end it with the misconceptions about India, and we'll kind of take some turns because we haven't really rehearsed this. I'll start first. I will talk about, let's say, the dogs. Before we came, my parents as well, everyone was like, stay away from the dogs. They all have rabies. They're very dangerous. They're going to bite you. Yes, that's true. You shouldn't really be going up to any dogs, just going up to them, but at the same time they are very, very friendly, a lot of them, and they've got used to humans. They've been living with them all their life. They're not just going to come up to you and bite them unless you go up to them and aggravate them. So yeah, keep an eye on the dogs. Don't go up to one and just start petting it without its permission, I guess. But yeah, the dogs aren't like rabid dogs that are going to kill you and your family, so don't worry about that.
My biggest thing, I guess, would be that I was very naive and I thought that everything was kind of going to be not the same, but everything was going to be like much of what Delhi was like, and that is so, so different. And that's where I feel sad that was even my like preconception, if that's the word, because there are mountains in the north, like snow-capped mountains, there are beautiful beaches, there is so much greenery, there's so many different things in this country, and it's definitely not like how it is portrayed a lot of the time. And Obviously, there are areas that are not the best in terms of cleanliness and stuff, but a lot of the states are really working towards cleanliness and sustainability, and that's really, really nice.
And I think to end the video, I want to talk about India as a whole. Every single state in India is completely different. They could literally be an hour away, 10 hours away. It's completely different to the other one. So don't go to the Golden Triangle and then fly out and say you've been to India, because you haven't. The Golden Triangle has nothing to do with anything else from India, I promise you. The south is completely different to the north. The Rajasthan region is completely different to, let's say, Mumbai. Everything is so different, and every state has different qualities to give you and show you. The people are different in different areas, the food are different in different areas, the smells, the cleanliness, everything. So don't just go to the Golden Triangle. Please venture out, take some of our advice and go to some of these places. Pushkar, Goa, Mumbai. Go to these places and really experience India.
India is a beautiful, diverse country, extremely overwhelming, but a place you must visit, not only because it's an incredible place, but also because when you see some of the poverty that you will see, it will really make you grateful for your life and grateful for the little things that we have at home. And the people are beautiful, they're kind, they want to help you every single time you need it. They will help you when you're not asking for it. The food is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's just somewhere that we are so grateful that we visited, and we really recommend visiting again, just once in your lifetime.
Yeah, we will be visiting India again next year, that's for sure. But that is going to be the end of the video. So
Thank you, India. Thank you so much for having us and your hospitality, and we cannot wait to see you again soon.
So please like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.